As we all know, Pokemon Legends Galar is going to be the next Pokemon Legends game, and we know this is a reliable leak because it came from the Terra leak, which had a ton of accurate things. With that being said, we're getting closer and closer to this game. Even though it's not going to come out this year, I think it was coming out maybe next year, 2027, if I'm not mistaken. However, things may be delayed, things may change. What will the starter Pokemon be? We don't know exactly what they're going to be, but we can infer from some of the other rumors and stuff out there. So if we're just going to judge by like the starter Pokemon that need to be filled in, from the other Legends games, the ones that would fill in, such as like, we have a Gen 5 starter. We have Oshawott and Tepig that have been used from Gen 5, but we don't have Snivy, so Snivy could totally be one of these starters. And we also do have Rowlet, which is one of the Gen 7 starters, so that means we could also have the other ones be Litten and Popplio, which would literally give us Snivy, Litten, and Popplio, which definitely makes the most sense, but almost too much sense. That almost is like too good of a guess. So in my mind, I'm kind of like, yeah, okay, that might not even happen because first of all, we don't know if they're gonna make other Legends games. This might be the last one. I hope it's not because I love the Legends series. And also knowing Game Freak, they're gonna throw a curveball and we're gonna get something totally random that nobody was like really thinking of. We do have this leaked image, which is kind of blurry because it's from the Terra League, so it's not like the best quality or anything like that. But what we can see is some sort of regional Galarian Cook Slowbro, which looks amazing. I mean, I know that's not a starter Pokemon, but dude, that design looks awesome. I hope that actually still happens in the game. And what we can see is a bunch of people and Pokemon living together around some sort of pot. They are cooking something up in here. You can see somebody holding some stew. I wonder what that stew is made out of. Let's hope it's not Pokemon stew, dude. But if you guys haven't noticed yet, what do you see right in front of this pot? You can see a Raboot, which may infer that Scorbunny could potentially be one of the starter Pokemon. Now, it's possible we could just have the Gen 8 starters be the starter Pokemon for this game, but because that's what a lot of people actually thought for Legends ZA, because, well, it's a modern day Pokemon game. I think the game took place like 12 years after the events of X and Y, relatively close after X and Y. So with that being said, Legends ZA didn't have the X and Y starters. So that's why I think this game, Legends Galar, may not have any of the Galar region starters. So it would be possible, but maybe not, because if we did just get the classic Gen 8 starters, maybe they could get some sort of new form, maybe an ancient regional variant version. I think no matter what though, any starter Pokemon we do actually get for this game, I think we'll get something to, I think we'll get some sort of love. Like, I think they'll get some sort of variant, regional variant, like how we had the Hisuian variants in Legends Arceus, which is awesome. Or like I said, some sort of new Gigantamax form. So, I also never noticed this before, but in the background, you can kind of see, is that a Combee, the Pokemon? Is that like some sort of different version of Combee? Like I said, it's hard to say. I can't really make it out, but it looks like it's blue and black. I don't know what else that could be. Let me know if there's some sort of other Pokemon that this could maybe be, but yo, imagine like a regional variant of Combee. That'd be pretty sick. And we do have another theory to talk about in this video about what the starters could potentially be that includes Scorbunny. So there are two more on top of Scorbunny that could actually be the starter Pokemon for this game. Guys, and let me know your theories. What do you want the starters to be? Now, the starter Pokemon would have to be some sort of actual like starter Pokemon from another region. Maybe like Squirtle could be in there. Who knows? Maybe we could have something from Gen 9. Like, imagine we had Sprigatito be one of the starters. At this moment, I think anything is possible, but still we could kind of pinpoint just a little bit here. What's interesting is what we know from this game is that Pokeballs don't exist. We have the creation of the first Gigantamax Pokeball. Leaked materials show early concepts of stealing stones, primitive containment tools, and handcrafted devices suggesting an experimental phase in the origin of Pokemon capture technology. This story bridges the gap between simple coexistence and the eventual rise of modern trainer systems. Where you can see in this image is some sort of like capture device that isn't necessarily a Pokeball yet. So it seems like in this game, our Pokemon, like our Pokemon team, we're not going to capture them with a Pokeball. It seems more so like we're actually going to befriend these Pokemon and like become friends with them, and they'll be on our team, which does sound very interesting. Obviously, starters are going to still be grass, fire, and water, which if they get some sort of new regional variant form or something, like, their third stage evolution may change a type or two or something like that. That would be pretty sick. And this is a post from somebody over on Reddit who like kind of crossed out the starter Pokemon that we have already had in a Legends game. Of course, we had Cyndaquil, Chikorita, and Totodile, so we have all of the Gen 2 starters have been in a Pokemon Legends game, which is so weird. Tepig and Oshawott, so 2 Gen 5 starters, and we've had Rowlet, which that leaves us literally all of these Pokemon. Every single one of these specific Pokemon could potentially be the starters in Legends Galar. But with that being said, a lot of people are kind of convinced that it could be Snivy, Scorbunny, and Piplup. I remember this was an early on theory for Legends ZA. Cardinal made this concept and it seems like it would be amazing. I would absolutely love that. I would probably have to go Piplup, even though I love Snivy. Dude, that would be That would be so hard for me to pick. Or like I said, we could even get Snivy, Litten, and Popplio, because that would complete the Gen 5 Pokemon and the Gen 7 mons. So that means we'd have Gen 2, 5, and 7 complete, which would leave us all these other Pokemon for another Legends game, which I hope they keep making Legends games. Currently, this is like the outline of the upcoming Pokemon games over the next, I think, 5 years it was, which doesn't have another Legends game on here, but that doesn't mean we won't get another Legends game, you know, after Gen 11. It seems like Gen 10 is not going to have more than one. It seems like Legends Galar is currently the only planned Legends game, although I have to say things change, guys. Things behind the scenes always change. They could even make Legends Alola happen. Like, they could scrap Legends Galar completely and have Legends Alola come out. I really hope not. Even though I do want Legends Alola, I think I want to go to Galar region first, because I feel like it's low-key kind of overhated. I mean, I gotta be honest, I wasn't the biggest fan of Gen 8 when they first dropped. But guys, they have grown on me a lot. Those games have really grown on me, and I think it would be amazing to go to the Galar region. It could be like maybe Legends or Turnamax, Legends Dynamax, Gigantamax. It could be whatever. I mean, I think Legends Galar is already a cool enough name as it is. But let me know what name you think would be really sick for this specific game. But you can see from, you know, PokeOS, it says Ringo, which is the codename for Legends Galar. So like this picture, like the overall, you know, releasing games for the next 5 years, Ringo means Legends Galar or Legends 3. It's an experimental title by Game Freak's prototype development division, and it's being prototyped as a candidate for the next Legends game. So that basically means it's not 100% happening, but it seems like it probably will, because they have like really gone into depth and detail to make concept art and kind of like tests of the game, like the battle physics and stuff like that. The new Pokemon, you know, AI system they call it, which is not like ChatGPT AI, but it's more so like, I think like attack AI, like they're gonna know like what to do, because it seems like we're gonna have like a group of, I think up to 30 Pokemon it was from the Terra League around us battling at the same time, like these ginormous boss Pokemon and stuff. So I think either way it's going to be amazing, and the coolest thing about this game is it's going to be an ancient game, 1,000 years in the past, which truly gives me hope that it could be an awesome game. Like, I think this could be such a cool Legends game, and I hope it's a big map too, because even though ZA was very fun, I loved ZA, I did wish we could go outside of the map just a little bit, because it's just fun to explore a whole region, you know what I'm saying? So like, we could see Galar 1,000 years ago, before anything was built, before any civilizations. Who knows, maybe it's going to be like some sort of sub part of Galar, like not even anywhere that we've even explored before. I just think it sounds awesome. So cool. And plus, on top of that, we have had a lot of hints in ZA about Galar. Like, they've mentioned Galar a lot, which they typically do tease the next upcoming Pokemon game in a previous game. Like in Sun and Moon, there was literally a Gigantamax Toxtricity poster in one of the Poke Centers, which I just learned on one of my live streams the other day, which is like blew my mind. I had no idea that was even in the game. Like, it's crazy. A 3DS game had a teaser for a Switch game. To me, that's awesome. So the Galar references in ZA to me means something, bro. I think it's gonna happen. Let me know your dream Legends game. You know, we could have a Legends game on anything, really, literally. We could have Legends Kyurem, which is definitely one of my favorite ones that I would absolutely love. A Gen 2 Legends game would be also very cool. Let me know all your thoughts. What do you think the sort of Pokemon are going to be for this game in specific, guys? And if you want to watch more Legends Galar videos, I have a whole playlist of Legends Galar stuff. We talk about like regional variants, other leaks and stuff like that. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. Help me reach my goal of 50,000 subscribers for the end of this year. Hope you guys all have a great day. If you were really watching this far in the video, comment down below toast, the word toast. See you in the next one. Peace.